Bishop Trap, happy holiday. Appreciate everybody who's been following for a long time. Trap Media USA, home of the first YouTube boxing pound for pound list, home of the first to draw the line with Terrence Bud Crawford, and the first one to go back and forth with his sister, and the first one to say to question when everybody else was so pro Bud and Bud is this and Bud is that. Before everybody switched and it became a war of two sides, and you had this on all YouTube, and everybody was on YouTube kumbayaing and holding hands, and Spence and Crawford was in the party together. Before that, if you go back on this page or you type in Trap Media, Terrence Crawford is not pound for pound, or Trap Media, Terrence Crawford is those first narratives started right here. And I was, in the chat, rabble rousing, pushing, and eventually everybody else comes along a little bit later, as they usually does, because over here, I'm the one that will say what needs to be said before it's popular to say what needs to be said. Most of these guys on YouTube, they want to be friends. They want to be all up in the videos with these boxers. They want to take pictures. They want the interviews. They want press. And over here, I don't care. I have no loyalty. I don't care where you from. None of that stuff matters to me. I like Sean Porter, but I don't know this guy. So I have to be real, just like I'm real with people in real life. Like, if we're not agreeing on something, I'm going to come on and say what needs to be said. I don't agree with most people politics around me, but I say it. Most of these guys and people in these chats and on the internet, they want to be in. I don't want to be in. So I'm not afraid to say what needs to be said. And my biggest point is today, Spence Crawford, they're blaming Terrence Crawford. Everybody, they're acting like they have all of these sources, which they don't. Most of these guys are liars. They'll say whatever, they'll put whatever headline and title for a click. These dudes know nothing, but they prosper off people on YouTube wanting to be entertained, or people on YouTube buying into this fake. uh they'll try to attach themselves to a pro-black thing. I've watched guys come in super square, super proper, and getting certain groups and start cursing and acting, a certain way, and get super pro-black, and the relationships don't show. Like, it be a whole bunch of foolery on YouTube, especially in this boxing stuff. And I just be like, man, how y'all like, y'all don't peep that dude lie on all of his headlines just to get your click. That he'll say, they'll say, what, because 1 minute it'd be, oh, Bud Crawford signed with the PBC for 2 fights, and then I'll come around, oh man, no, Bud Crawford wants so and so amount of money, and then it's, oh, they both agreed to it's like any little thing, and they'll know what somebody meant, like Brian Custer or whatever. They'll know what they meant, but they'll misinterpret it purposely, or go to the fullest extent of that interpretation purposely, just to draw you in for a click. Like, it's no integrity on YouTube. And most of these guys, they're only in it for the bag. They don't care about boxing. A lot of these guys don't. They want the bag. They'll do whatever for the click, because when you really care about something, you'll take your time with information. You'll take your time with news. You don't become the opposite of what everybody claims to hate. Old media, old media, old media. So we know old media issue was they was too slanted towards everything but the black fighter. We understand that. But the response to that is not to become so slanted that we have to question everything that you say. Because now you just got what people consider on the news, Fox and CS, like CNN. I don't think that's the solution. The solution is somewhere in the middle, and most of these people will never, they become so drunk, and you're conditioned to support a certain thing. You're conditioned to support the Democrats because they tell you what you want to hear, and they take that same hustle that the Democrats use with black voters into boxing, because you only want to hear what you want to hear. You do not want to hear the truth, and the truth is, while Bud Spence hasn't happened, is black fans have been conditioned years and years and years to not put value in things, to where as a majority we're purchasing pay-per-view, to whereas a majority we're going out to purchase the music, we're going to purchase the CD. Why do you think the CD died? The white fan was still buying the CD. Now, you got certain areas, and this is where I'll say Earl has the benefit. You got certain areas that kept their integrity. You had the Paul Walls, the Mike Joneses, all of those guys, some in the Bay Area, selling out the trunk. So there are certain places that kept the integrity of spending money with black. They didn't do this pro-black stuff when it became a commercial thing or a cool thing. They stuck to the line. These guys could sell 100,000 CDs out the trunk, and that's where you see a reflection of the evolving of that mindset in Earl Spence's sales. So Earl is an anomaly because of the integrity of the black Texas fan, and he also, the relationship between blacks and Mexicans is way different from the West Coast. So it's more of a we're Texas home front, and I give, salute to those fans and salute to those pockets of America that still has that type of integrity. But I'm speaking more so as a whole. We've been conditioned to LimeWire, Steel Music, going to the corner store all across America, the DVD man, the bar in the barbershop, the DVD man, the movie, the TV show. Like, we weren't going as a whole, and I'm not even saying specifically myself, even if I was mine, I'm just speaking as a whole, majority. More often, these are common. Everybody knows the DVD man, everybody in my generation, LimeWire, I forget the other ones, a few other ones, but we all know this, and this is why the system had to switch over to streaming so that they can find a way to profit, because these CDs weren't selling anymore. And over years and years and years, and then you get the black, new fans, young fans who just getting into the sport, or fans that just getting hip to it. And even with TV today, everybody's talking, oh, Fire Stick, man, send me that Fire Stick, Fire Stick, Fire Stick, Fire Stick. Oh, where I get a Fire Stick? So you hear this all over. This is common conversation, whether in real life, YouTube, or everybody want a Fire Stick. So again, condition to not pay for something, stream still, and that carries over to the mind state for boxing. Oh, they're not giving me the fight I want. Oh, y'all go stream. Oh, stream this, stream this, stream this. So that mentality will constantly get pushed, and then we'll wonder why we don't get treated properly on the pound for pound list, because the pound for pound list is not totally about the skill. It's not totally about the accolades. If it's close, oh, this guy NUA, maybe he's not better than Jermell Charlo, is what they're saying in these boardrooms. Maybe not, but he has Japan behind him. And as we seen Triple G just go over there and collect that bag from Japan, Japan will spend some money. We want this demographic tuned into boxing, so we need representation for the fan base that pays. I want you to turn to your left. I want you to turn to your right and slap somebody's hand right now. Can I get a amen? We're in a church. Bishop Trap. I'm preaching today. It's the 4th of July. Can you hit that like button for me? I want you to turn to your left, turn to your right, and hit that like button. Hallelujah. We preaching the truth today, and we rebuking all of the BS that's on YouTube, sprinkling a little bit of holy water. So they want the representation tuned into the sport. And the way to get the representation tuned into the sport is to give them a face. So instead of just putting all of these fighters who we all probably agree for the most part that should be dominant on this list, and maybe you can fill the whole list outside of one or two with all Black American fighters. But if this group has been conditioned to not pay to stream, and we're not saying it's not going on nowhere else, but again, we're speaking of holes because we understand when that other base gets in tune or like something, when Mexicans like something, no matter how much trash they talk about Canelo, this or that, they still go buy the pay-per-view. They still go show up in the gate. Don't matter if he's in Texas. Don't matter if he's in wherever he's at. They're going to show up. They're going to support, from Canelo, who's actually from Mexico, to Ryan Garcia. We see him on the Gatorade commercial, and we understand businesses care about the bottom line, and the bottom line is they have a demographic that is going to support their fighter. If this was Canelo Spence, the fight would not, and this is not saying the fight is not going to get done. It may get done, may get announced today, it may not. I'm saying the reason it has taken so long is not what none of these guys are saying. These guys are looking over the fact that if this was Canelo Crawford, regardless of Crawford sales, this fight would be done. If it was Canelo Spence, the fight would have been done. It wouldn't have taken this long because they would have no problem putting up whatever amount because they know they have a fan base that will pay, that is not conditioned to steal from their own. So we hear a lot of you talking on YouTube, but we don't know. Just the same way you say about Ryan Garcia. Oh, so what? He has this fans and this fans and this fans, but is it going to the same thing? Oh, we hear y'all talking. We hear you arguing in the chats and stuff like that. But typically we see, as much as you talk about Bud Crawford, it doesn't correlate to sales. When Mexicans and stuff get to talking like that, we see the reflection. If a Nui fan base get to talk, we'll see the reflect. Whoever these other when Pacquiao fans over Philippines get to talking, we see the reflection in sales. But niggas like to just talk. For the most part, they know that they're in your chats and they're listening. Like, oh man, that sound good. They sound excited. But then Stephen F. Spinoza and the other guy for PBC will come out like, we're not gonna jump out the box, and why they can't come and say blacks aren't, or they them niggas just talking. They can't just come say that, but they'll put it in a nice way and say, oh, it's not worth that. But really what they're saying is, you niggas just talking. Y'all not gonna buy shit. We don't care about your fucking opinion. Cry about our pound for pound list. We're not gonna make a pound for pound list because we don't, what the fuck, you niggas don't buy shit. Y'all stream. You gonna go type in whatever link. You're gonna share a link. You're gonna go watch somebody on Instagram a stream. We see you all congregated and it constantly grows. So whenever a nigga can get something free, he's going to take that route because there's no, that it sounds good when you on here talking this pro black shit. That sounds good. But we know if a nigga came out with their version of Nike, y'all not gonna buy that. If they come out with the black Gucci, y'all not gonna buy that. So stop all this nonsense. Spence Crawford is not to blame on Earl Spence. It's not to blame on Terrence Crawford. It's to blame on years and years of conditioning of the black fan, the black supporter being conditioned from DVDs from the DVD man stealing, from Fire Stick stealing, from LimeWire stealing, and that just carries on to today. So let's be honest, let's be real. That's the truth. These guys don't have any sources. Majority of, it's very few. I won't say all, but very few. And the ones who probably really do, they're not saying too much because they don't want to compromise their sources. These dudes are on here lying for clicks. They're lying for clicks. That's it. They're putting um they're putting titles that confuse the fans. So I'll get somebody to call me, oh, you seen this and so said this. I'm like, bro, you can't listen to nothing this guy says. He's consistent, and we appreciate that, but it's more entertainment. You don't actually go to these people for news. Go listen to this person, this person, this person, and that's where you'll get an official source. Because for the most part, they'll say anything for a click. They'll misinterpret something that anybody says in an interview just for a click. They sold their soul. So they have no integrity in the sport. They don't really care about boxing. It's more so, how can we get you in? It's slow right now. So what can we put as a headline that's going to capture you and make you click this video? And we know the fans have just been, they need something to do. So they're going to come here, they're going to accept that, and it's just going to be what it's going to be. Everybody else that's trying to get in, they want to rub shoulders and be friends and be cool. So they're not going to say anything. But again, years and years before it was cool to say anything bad about Bud Crawford, go check the history. Years and years when nobody was making a pound for pound list on YouTube, go check the history. Go back and go to the archives. I'll draw the line before it's okay to draw the line, because I don't care about a relationship with anybody. Shout out to everybody that do support though. But what's need to say it will be said. Triple G and Canelo 3 will most likely sell more than Terrence Crawford, Earl Spence 1. It's the same demographic, and a lot of those fans will intersect. 420 tops, all of these people telling you a million and all that. Tell them wake up from whatever dream they're in, or I know a lot of people like to indulge in different substances and spirits. So just take it for what it is, entertainment. Don't get too hyped. Don't get on YouTube and, because he's saying something, this isn't a shot at any specific person. Understand YouTube boxing is a big world. I'm watching a lot of channels, so it's no shot at one specific person. I see it going on all day, all night, from a bunch of different channels. Peace and love. Happy 4th of July. I hope you eating good, and hopefully we can get some news. But we can turn down the hostility, because it's not because of Spence. It's not because of Bud. These guys don't have any official sources. They're just throwing things out there. They've been programmed at this point to hate Terrence Crawford, even though he's the foundational Black American rooted, slave roots and stuff like that. Other guys, rooted from another country, whatever. Strong black wife, keeping it sturdy, keeping it for the home team. But of course, that don't matter. There's been a conditioning that everybody has gone through, so they just hate Terrence Crawford. Anything he does, it just has to be wrong. uh we know what's going on, man. Trap Media USA, like, share, subscribe. Bishop Trap giving you a special holy service on this 4th of July. I hope today is good for you. Stay safe. Take care of your kids. Take care of the women today. Let's turn down the violence for each other, and let's really spread some black love. And hopefully you guys go out and buy Terrence Crawford, Earl Spence, and hopefully it does do a million pay-per-views. I doubt it, but I'm hoping for the best. Like, share, subscribe. I'm out.